Every day when every day when every day when every day when.
All right, all right. What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday. What's up, Eduardo? I see your picture up, but I don't know if you're there. But I'm going to just give everybody a couple moments to
Hi,
trickle in.
hi, Ramon, my friend. Yes, I'm here. I'm going to put my cam in 2 minutes. Don't worry, but I am here.
Go ahead,
How is every,
Eduardo. Go ahead and
how
get
is every,
yourself. What
how is
happened?
everything? Sorry, how is everything there?
Everything is great. Just enjoying this beautiful Saturday morning. I was just going to say, if you need 2 minutes to go ahead and get yourself together and ready for this morning, go right ahead. I'll just go ahead and just give our little intro. It is a beautiful day in March. Happy March. We just had a leap year for February, so we did have an extra day. Now it is March. It is beginning to become spring. The coldness starts to go away. Flowers start to bloom. It's that time of the year. And it's also the beginning of spring break. Shout out to spring break. Eduardo, is spring break a thing in Peru by any chance? All right. He took my 2 minutes to the heart. He's getting ready. But here in Miami, it is definitely a
Sorry,
big
sorry.
deal.
I
Spring
was
break.
no. Here, for example, in Peru, we are in summer.
Okay, so right
Uh,
now, hold up. But Are you there or you not there? Because I'm talking to you, you're not responding, and then out of nowhere you respond. I just want to make sure we're good and clear and ready to go.
No, yes, I'm here. I'm here.
All
I
right,
was
all
in
right.
I was telling you that here we are in summer. No, in spring, but the spring is in September for us.
Okay, so your spring is in September, and when that comes around, do you have spring break? Eduardo, I think we're having technical difficulties, my friend. Are you
Yes,
there,
only that.
Eduardo?
Give me 1 minute. I want to change my cable, please, because I have bad.
Sorry, friends, we're having a little
Yes,
bit
yes,
of
I'm here. Only that.
we're
Give me
having
one
some
minute, please, to fix my computer.
sorry, friends, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties this morning, but it's all good. If y'all can hear me loud and clear, throw some thumbs up in the chat if you're in there. I know we're still a little early. It is Saturday, so I do understand if some of us taking a couple extra minutes to get some rest. It is the day where I usually would love to sleep in, but never do anyway. But it's all good. Moral of the day, right? That I want to kind of get out there, or you know how I say moral of the story, but I'm gonna call it moral of the day, right? And today it's gonna be slow down, slow down. This Saturday keeps coming too quickly. The weeks come by so fast, and the days seem like they take forever. But either way, in life, slow down. Shout out to my people in TikTok joining me. If you want to hear the whole live stream, please hop into the live stream on YouTube and you can hear the whole entire conversation. But if you just want to hang out in TikTok, that's fine too. Shout out to my people in TikTok. Shout out to the viewership in YouTube. Everybody in Nigeria, everybody in South America, everybody in Peru, everybody in Thailand, everybody in Mexico, anybody in the Middle East, Eastern culture, Western culture, North, South, all around the globe. We are here having the conversation that is taking place all around the world. You are all invited. You all can join. We all come from different cultures and represent different pillars of life. So when we come to the table, I want you to come as you are and bring that with you. So shout out to everybody. This is the Ramon G live stream. Might be episode, I don't know, maybe 23, maybe 24, somewhere in the 20s. We're allowed to drink now, but we've been doing this for a little while. And I want to say we've been pretty consistent. And it's a big thanks to all of you back home, all of you that keep tuning in, all of you that join every week. Just peeping in the chat. Oh, Milik, as always. What's up, Milik? Love seeing him every week. Shout out to Wes. Good to see our good friends. But like I said, this week or today, my little motto, my little affirmation is slow down. Slow down. You don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to go nowhere fast, right? So just slow down, take it step by step. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. I want y'all to take a sip of your coffee. Take a breath. Have gratitude. Be thankful you're alive today. Be thankful you can breathe. Be thankful you're free. I mean, I'm assuming if you're on the live stream, there's some kind of freedom. And just appreciate that everyone around you, if they're healthy, if they're present, be appreciative for that. All right. Let me just go ahead and I'm just gonna put something in the chat real quick while Eduardo is getting himself situated.
Oh, okay. I am actually. I have fixed my problem. Don't worry. I'm going to put my.
All right, all right. Eduardo coming in the clutch. It's
Okay,
all good,
hi
brother.
everyone.
Things happen. How's everything, Eduardo?
Fine, fine. I think I was with bad connection here. I have to change the cables.
Change the cables,
Cable, yeah, sorry.
the wires. That's how we stay connected here.
Yes.
All right. So Eduardo, how are you? How's everything? Good to see you.
Everything is good by here. Today is Saturday. Where people in the office don't work, but I'm the only working here because I work from Monday to Saturday.
Okay. And good, Eduardo. I appreciate and I admire your sacrifice. I know on a day like today, you could have slept in, you could have gone out last night, but you're here being productive, showing up for the people. And we're going to practice our English because that's what we came here to do. Right.
Oh.
So I went ahead and got the intro out of the way, shouted everybody out. Just let me take another peek in the chat. Shout out to Kick. All right. Again, if y'all have not subscribed, please do so, just so you can stay up to date with things. That's all. Just so you can know when live streams are happening. You can check out the new merch. We have actually a new Easter shirt now available in the shop. The shirt says, Eduardo, dig this. The shirt says, live each day like it's your first. What do you think?
I think that it's this phrase it's make you reflect, right? For example, in day-to-day activities, you always do something routine, right? For example, go to work. I don't know if you have to study, go to study and no more. But when they say, I understand that when you say live the day as it was at first, you have to learn as much as you want. You have to try to live to know things again or something like that. It's like to be prepared to learn to embrace everything, right? So I think that because for example when you go to a new place you are like, oh wow, look at this, or when you know new people you are like, oh hey, how are you, hey, you get interested in things, right? So I think that this phrase it try to make you this, right?
Yeah, like you said something very, very key, which was to learn, to be prepared to learn, because the real phrase is live each day like it's your last. But when you think about living a day like it's your last day, that's too much anxiety. That's too much pressure. I wouldn't know what to do. I'll be like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Oh, I gotta say bye to, like, but if you live each day like it's your first day, you have this innocence still. You're like open-minded. You're not traumatized by anything. You have this fresh approach and you're looking things almost like with the eyes of a child, like it's the first time you're seeing things. And that's kind of a lot of times the most beautiful you're able to see something is through those eyes. Because later you get jaded, things happen, you might get a little cold, you might lose some innocence. That's why as you get older, an older person might have a different heart, a different way of looking at things than an infant, a toddler, because one has been through experience, the good and the bad, and that's shaped them to be a certain way. But when you're a baby, you're brand new to things. You don't know what's gonna happen.
It's like an invitation, right? Invitation to enjoy the present, right? To leave the past behind and enjoy the present and don't worry too much for the future. It's live the day as it were the first, right?
Exactly. And that shirt is in the shop right now. If you want to wear it for Easter, if you celebrate Easter, Easter is, I believe, on March 31st this year. Eduardo, would you say in your culture, in your country, in your family, do you celebrate Easter?
No. Okay, I mean, okay, Easter is here we celebrate in a different way, right?
Okay.
It's like for example, here in Peru it's called Semana Santa. That it's like, for example, it's
Okay.
27 March. No, it starts 28 March and 29 March. And it's always, there is 2 days and it's holiday day here and people take advance and they travel because they don't have to work. People, religious people go to church, for example, and try to pray, to have these rituals to go eat church. Particularly me, don't believe too much because I am more spirituality than religious because I have other belief. But I totally respect people who do it. It's each person has their own belief, have their own custom, so I have their own culture, and I respect too much. Particularly no, because I think more. I believe more in spirituality than religion, but still in my family, for example, they eat fish. For example, they don't eat meat on that day, and I try to be with them. Okay, I don't know. I do not go to the church because I don't like everything is full of people. I don't like too much. I don't like this day. This is a good opportunity to go because you feel stress, traffic, people. No, I don't like. But still here in Peru, people celebrate. Yes, a lot. On the channel, on the TV, on the local channel, you can find a lot of movies about Christians, about history, about about some people that are very influenced on religious.
Okay. Well, look. I don't want you to get too deep. I think you just unlocked our next topic for maybe next week or the week after. We will get into a little bit of religion, spirituality, however you want to label that. But we will get into it maybe a little closer to Easter. Of course, here in the States, it is celebrating the resurrection of Christ. But just like Christmas, there's a side of it that's a little more commercial with the Easter bunny and the Easter eggs and all that. But we'll get into that. I think I'm gonna save that one for a couple weeks when we're like a little closer to Easter. Another holiday in March that we have is St. Patrick's Day. Have you heard of St. Patrick's Day?
I hear about that. I hear it was a sale, right? But I
Yeah, good assumption. It was a saint. Well, it's a holiday more from Ireland.
I think
And
70 March.
huh?
The day is on 70 March.
I think so. I mean, to be fair, I don't celebrate it. Like it's not really, it's more like in school, you had to wear green, and if you don't wear green, you get pinched, right?
Yes.
I got my green on today, but today's not even St. Patrick's Day. A lot of people drink beer on this day. They'll drink beer, they'll maybe have a little party.
You're from Ireland, right? Ireland.
Ireland, yeah.
Ireland.
I
Yes.
believe, right? Is it? Let me make sure.
Yes, I hear because when I were in the school, I remember that date. When I were in the school, I remember that on my school we celebrate that. So yes, I totally remember. And for example,
Ireland.
for example, on some religious schools, they have even more ritual days. They add they have some special event in each room. So it's celebrated different in the different school, right? Because here in Peru there are many religious schools and they celebrate like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a light holiday. You still go to school, everybody still works, but it still gets recognized. So all of this is in March. March. Okay, third month of the year. Like I said, I was telling everybody as you were figuring out your computer, time flies. Time is going by so fast. Sometimes I'm like, I guess I think of the live stream, like, oh my God, again, next week. We just started. We're on episode 24. Like, time is going fast. So what I was telling everybody is like, sometimes slow down, look around, be present because
Yes,
the time is going so fast. Sometimes you got to appreciate the moment and be centered.
yes, totally.
Alrighty, but Eduardo, just to give everybody a heads up. Oh,
So
go ahead.
because with all things that you have in your work, with all things that you have to plan, because you are you have many things to do. For example, the other time I was reflecting about what you said about be present. Okay, be present is very important. When I meditate, for example, I try to be present. It helped me to to rest my mind with many things. And when I meditate, I use this application that lead you through the meditation because someone speak about something and I like a lot because it helped me a lot, and I prefer someone to speak because you can get a very good reflection about that. And I was like, when I am working and I feel that, oh, I don't have any idea, I go to the living room, and I lie in the sofa, and I try to disconnect of everything. I put my headphone and I try to disconnect, and it helped me a lot, right, to be present. But it's sometimes very difficult because with all things that you have, hey, you have meeting here, you have to fix this problem, you have to go to the other place. So during your day-to-day activities, sometimes it's difficult, but you have to try, right, to meditate and to be present. Because even yesterday I was with my sister, and my sister started to speak with me. Hey, you know what? I think this, the other, but and when we finished the conversation, I noticed that I haven't heard anything from her, and I feel bad, right? Because I was so deep in my mind thinking about a word that I haven't heard anything. And I feel bad because when I finish, what do you think, Eduardo? And I said, I was very ashamed to ask her, what did you say? Because it's not fair, right? It's not fair. I know that it's not fair, but that made me reflect sometimes.
Yes, you gotta display some active listening, because you don't want people to feel like their words mean nothing to you. There's no worse feeling than like you're talking and you realize nobody was listening to you. That's a bad feeling. You kind of feel like, okay, I just wasted my time. So it's important that if you are in that mental state, if you are meditating, if you are trying to disconnect, maybe let someone know right away. Look, I'm about to do this, maybe we should talk later. Here, give me one quick second, Eduardo, all right? Hold on tight. Here, you can entertain the people for 30 seconds like I did.
Okay, we are going to try.
Wow, that was great, Eduardo. That was so funny. Oh my goodness, I had so much fun. But I am back. Shout out to the TikTokers. I feel bad because they only hear me. But I tell them to go to YouTube to hear the whole conversation. But it's all good. We'll get that all fixed later. Let me see how we doing in our chat. Let's see who's here. Who's here today? We got shout out to Peace. Shout out to Kick. The Prophetess Peace. Hello to you. Tech Genius. Good morning. Penny Bash. Success Life. Brave Lex. Teslam. Shout out to all of you. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. Jay-Z lyrics. So I want to talk about, before we get into our English test, we are going to take a test. A test? What do you mean a test? I didn't get to study. Don't worry. Very, very easy. It's just for fun. We just I want to discuss a little bit about English levels. But before I get into that, I just want to get into one little topic. So, Eduardo, did you know that my first language is not English?
Yes, I actually know because your mom and your family is from Cuba, right?
Sort of right, sort of wrong. But yes, I do have Hispanic parents. So I was raised speaking Spanish first. My mother's from El Salvador. My father's Cuban. But either way, both countries are Spanish speaking countries. I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. So I was raised speaking Spanish first and only Spanish. In fact, my parents maybe didn't know that much English at that time.
But you know what? In a way, it helped you, right? Because you can speak easily to language, and it's quite more benefit because when you want to speak on Word, for example, you have more skill, right? So you are more qualified. So it's good.
Absolutely. It made me bilingual, is what the word is called, when you know how to speak two languages, trilingual if you know three. But yeah, I feel like the more languages you learn, each language is a key that opens the door to a new world. So I did have to start off going to school taking ESOL classes. Have you heard of this? ESOL classes. So to be fair, at that time in the 80s, no, I'm tripping. I was born in the 80s. Well, actually in the 80s, it began a high influx of Latinos, Hispanics coming into the United States, more specific from Cuba to Miami, right? El Mariel, the boat lift that you can see in the movie Scarface at the beginning. It kind of plays out how that whole event happened. So at that time, even in school, in my class, almost everyone was Hispanic, kind of like me. And a lot of them also only knew Spanish. So we all, once a day, would go to a different classroom with a different teacher, and they would teach us English. And little by little, from kindergarten, taking ESOL classes, by the time I got to like first or second grade, I was no longer in ESOL and I had fluent English. But it wasn't so much the class, it was the environment because everything was in English. The cafeteria, the signs, the morning announcements, the papers, everything. So the class was a huge help. But when you add that to the culture, I felt like we all learned English pretty fast for children. Do they
And
have, go ahead.
now that you mentioned that, for example, for a people who speak Spanish and who live in USA or in a country that the main language is English, it's going to be very easy, like as you say, right? Because you remember the cafeteria was in English, or if you want to ask something, you have to ask in English. If you want to communicate, if you want to, interact with people, you have to do it in English. So it's going to help you to learn easily and quickly, right? So a good idea to learn English is to relate it with this environment. And for example, here in Peru, there are some academies, there are some schools that they are very expensive, of course, because you have to pay a lot of quantity of money to go to travel outside. They offer you a course, English course, about 3 months, for example, or 6 months, or 7 or 12 months, 1 year. You take the course, but in other countries like London, like USA, like another country, you have to pay the travel, the expensive where you live. So you are going to you are going to immerse on the language, right? So the idea is to you teach as fast as you can, right? So it's very expensive, but it's dedicated to people who want to speak because they need to speak as soon as possible. So it's a good option, right? Because you have the language in all your life. So there are no possibilities that you don't learn.
Yeah, it's a good investment, and you're gonna be in the, like I mentioned, the environment that will completely help you reach the goals you're trying to get to. So yeah, sometimes you have to make those kind of moves. Eduardo, I want to say we're at peak. We have 46 people in the moment watching us from all around the world. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a test. You hear
Perfect.
me?
Yes.
For everyone in the back, we are gonna take a test. So I want everyone to take a moment and grab either a pen and paper. If you're on the computer and you need some notes, Ramon, are you making me get paper and write things down? Yes, we are going to take a test. It's going to be very easy, I promise. Now, what are we going to get out of this test? What we're going to get out of this test is you are going to have an idea, because if we took the real test, we would be here for a while. But we're going to have an idea of what our English level is. An idea. Simple. Okay? So, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give y'all another couple seconds to get that pen and paper. it's going to be 9 questions. Okay? Mind you, you don't have to share with all of us. You can do it in the privacy of your home. And I'm going to orally go through it. Remember, slowing down. We're going slow today. So I'm going to take my time with this. No rush. All right? You peep in the chat. Hello, hello. Sup, Jerry? We're taking a test. So get prepared. Get that pen and paper. We're going to figure out our English level. All right? Because there are different English levels. To simplify it, there's A1, A2, which is more in the beginner, B1, B2, which is like intermediate in the middle, and you got C1 and C2, which is you're almost there, right? You're doing pretty good, you're advanced, you're almost at fluency. So that's to simplify it. I mean, it gets a little bit deeper, but with this test, we'll have an idea of where we're at. So here we go. I'm going to read to you guys a little paragraph. I'm going to read it twice. And I'm going to ask you 3 questions about the passage. So make a note of your answers, because then we're going to go through the answers afterwards. So I'm going to read it now, all right? Here's the passage. The weather was beautiful. The sun was shining brightly, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Sarah decided to go for a walk in the park. As she walked along the path, she saw colorful flowers blooming all around her. Birds were chirping happily, and she can hear the sound of children laughing and playing in the distance. All right? We copy that?
Yeah, yes.
Alrighty. Now, we got some background music. I'm going to read it again. And don't put the microphone on me so you have me recording so you can go back to it. No cheating. I'm going to read it one more time. The weather was beautiful. The sun was shining brightly, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Sarah decided to go for a walk in the park. As she walked along the path, she saw colorful flowers blooming all around her. Birds were chirping happily, and she could hear the sound of children laughing and playing in the distance. There you go. I'm not saying it again. So, question number 1. You don't have to say, keep it to yourself. What was the weather like?
Shani?
I said, keep it to yourself. Jeez. Yo. Well, you can't get this one wrong now.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I have.
What was the weather like? I just read a passage 2 times. I saw the number of the people in the chat. You've all been here since I've been reading it. So now the first question is, what was the weather like? Okay. Question number 2. Where did Sarah decide to go? Where did she go? Don't tell us, Eduardo. Where did Sarah decide to go? Question number 2. Where did she go? And question number 3. What could Sarah hear as she walked in the park? Jerry, I got you. I'm gonna read it one more time. Now that we have the questions in there, remember, do not say the answers. This is for yourself so we can check our reading level. I'm gonna read it one more time for everyone in the back. The weather was beautiful. The sun was shining brightly, and there wasn't a
Your audio, your Microsoft.
Is it working now?
Um,
Okay. Back up. The weather was beautiful. The sun was shining brightly, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Sarah decided to go for a walk in the park. As she walked along the path, she saw colorful flowers blooming all around her. Birds were chirping happily, and she could hear the sound of children laughing and playing in the distance. Fairly easy. Okay, Jerry, we're gonna keep the answer to yourself. Everybody's gonna take this test. But thank you so much for trying to help out. Much love. All right, so that's that. I'm gonna give y'all a couple seconds to let that sink in. And then we got 6 more questions. Now, for question number 4, we're going into a little bit of fill in the blank. All right? That is number 4. Don't give us the answer. Keep it to yourself. Jot it down. Later, we're going to go through all the answers and I'll let you know what your English level is. That is question 4. Forget the reading passage. It's just fill in the blank. What would be the best word in English to fit this sentence? I have a blank dog than Sarah. I have a blank dog than Sarah. All right? Fairly easy. Next question. This is going to be number 5.
Okay. I'm trying to understand. I have my notice.
Now, can you please pass me the knife, knives, or knives? You got some options to choose from here. I'm telling you, super easy. Can you please pass me the blank? Okay. Now, number 6. One second. Keep your eye on the chat. Number 6. What is the best word that would fit here? He enjoys.
I cannot hear you. Anyone's, I think.
Man, today's just one of those
No.
that. Once again, for those that missed it, he enjoys.
We can hear you. I think your Microsoft have something.
Testing.
No.
Eduardo, microphone. Microsoft is a prominent company.
Yes,
Makes
Microsoft.
computers
Sorry.
and computer programs. Microphone. Okay, Alado, keep the answer to yourself. Everybody's taking the test because everyone's gonna have a different level of fluency. Okay, not saying you're right, not saying you're wrong, but this is a test. Thank you. Now, last 3 questions. Again, a little more fill in the blank.
I think that you should repeat that last question because we couldn't hear you very well.
Okay, the last one is he enjoys blank baseball with his friends. All the questions are also written out in the chat. Okay. Next one, number 6. She blank to school every day. She blanks to school every day. All right. Almost done. 2 more questions. All right. Next one. Thank you, Connect. Much love to you. Again, friendly reminder. We are taking a test. So everyone's answers will be different. Let's just try to keep it to ourselves because everyone's going to have a different English level. We're just trying to figure out where everyone's English level is at. All right. But great job, by the way. Thanks for participating. They blank playing tennis yesterday. They blank playing tennis yesterday. Take your time, no rush. They blank playing tennis yesterday. And last question, I blank hungry now. I blank hungry now. Kind of a past, present, future kind of thing. All the questions are in the chat. Now, I'm going to go through the answers, and with the answers, we're going to be able to find out what English level you're at. All right? I'm going to take it from the top, just kind of go back real quick through all the questions. Okay. What was the weather like? Well, since Eduardo kind of told us the answer for that one, the weather was sunny. The weather was sunny. Just like it said in the passage, the weather was beautiful. The sun was shining brightly. Key word, the sun was shining. It was sunny. Question number 2. Where did Sarah decide to go? And right after that, it said, Sarah decided to go for a walk in the park. So the answer for number 2 is park. The answer for number 1 is sunny. Number 1 is sunny. Number 2 is park. And number 3, what could Sarah hear as she walked in the park? Children laughing and playing. If you put birds chirping, I'm not mad at you, but if you kept reading, she said the birds were chirping, but that she could hear the sound of children playing. So the correct answer is children playing. If you put birds, it is incorrect.
Nothing.
All right. So number 1, sunny. 2, park. 3, children playing. Now for number 4, I have a bigger dog. What did you put, Eduardo?
The same?
Bigger.
Yes.
Bigger is correct. Now, if anyone else put a different kind of all right, people in the chat, bigger. And you could put better. I would accept anything else that might fit. I think bigger fit best from what I had. But yeah, anything that would sound correct would fit there. Now, next one. Can you please pass me the knives? Now, tricky. When it's more than one knife, the F turns into a V. So can you please pass me the knives
Nice.
with a V?
Oops.
Next one. He enjoys playing baseball with his friends. Playing. Next one. She goes to school every day. Goes. Next one. They were.
Can hear you.
Might have to back.
No. Can you hear you?
They.
Okay, now.
Yeah. Testing. You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. They were playing tennis yesterday. And the last one is I am hungry now. I am hungry now. Now, that was the last one. So here's the scoring. Every question you got correct is 1 point. Every question you got correct is 1 point. If you got 0 to 1 point, you're an A1. If you got 2 to 3 points, you're an A2. If you got 4 to 5 points, you're a B1. 6 to 7 points, you're a B2. And anything above 7 points would be considered advanced, C1, C2 level. If you got all of them right, I would safely say you're in a C2. And that's it. Very easy. Mind you, this is not precise. This is just to give yourself an idea to know what English level you might be at. Now, the reason why this is important to know what level you're at is to track progress. If you're learning this language, you're taking lessons, you're really dedicating your time to it, it's important to track progress so you know where you're at, how you're doing. You can compare this year to last year. You know how much you've grown. And if we know what level we were at, and then we see what level we are at, if we saw the level we were at before and we compare it to the level we're at now, we can see the growth and we can see the difference, which is why I believe it's very important to know what level you're at. right here on this live stream. Take the little test with yourself to have an idea. And then, of course, if you want to know precisely, there are many, many tests out there you can take. I'll see if I can find a few that I think are authentic, and I'll share it with you all. But it's Saturday. I know most of y'all probably don't like taking tests, and I'm sorry. But I think it's important, and I think we had to get to the bottom of it. But Eduardo, that's all I got for y'all for today. Any final words or final thoughts?
I have 5 points. 5 points.
You got 5 points?
Yes. So I am not so bad. But
5 points. You are B1.
yes, I like this kind of topic because what we want is to people involved with us, right? So they can write their comments. And do you know what I was thinking about, Ramon? I was thinking about invite some of them. So if they want to participate, maybe in someone of our podcast, they can write you, and maybe we can choose one of them, and they can share the experience with us, right? Because it's going to be very enriched if we invite someone to our podcast, someone of our viewers. So if anyone's are interested, I invite them to write Ramon, and maybe we can make them participate to you know to they add value to our podcast, and they share with us him or her experience.
Actually, I'm kind of glad you mentioned that, only because very soon it's gonna be like the YouTube memberships. And it's gonna have 3 tiers. And each tier will offer different benefits. At this moment, I'm not gonna reveal any of it, but one of those tiers does include for you at home to be able to join us here on the live stream, be a part of the conversation. But even if you're not in the Zoom exactly and you're in the chat, participate from the chat. Being in the chat is just as important as being right here talking. We're a community, we communicate with each other, and you are all equally as valuable. Just remember that. We live in a world where everything is text messaging and emailing and stuff like that. So practicing your texting, your typing is just as important as your speaking. So just keep that in mind. You text how you speak how you text. But Eduardo, my friend, much love. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me on this live stream episode. And I'll catch you guys next week. Have a great weekend, y'all.
Thank you very much, Ramon, for inviting me once again, and thanks to our viewer to participate in our short test. And we are very invited to continue to see us. Thank you very much.